Hey guys, it's Kiki, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do calligraphy. So I've used calligraphy in many of my videos, including my Plan With Me videos, so I thought it was time to do a video on how to do calligraphy. This video will be in a step-by-step guide as well as some additional tips at the very end. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. The first step for learning calligraphy is to start by learning how to write in cursive. If you don't know how to write in cursive, you can look for inspiration on Google Images, Pinterest, Instagram, and there are heaps and heaps of calligraphy and cursive writing which you can just follow to see the style you want. So first you just want to write them out individually, then you want to write it out connected. A little tip that I like to do when I'm doing cursive is to use a smooth pen, such as a gel pen, so you can easily glide along the page and it won't be any hard for you. The second step is to find stationery that works for you. There are many brush pens and calligraphy pens out there, so finding one that you like and one that works for you is very important when doing calligraphy. First, when I started calligraphy, I did not have a calligraphy pen that worked for me, and I think that made it much harder for me to get into calligraphy and improve in calligraphy. So here are some stationery items that I personally use. So I have the Mildliner brush pens, and these are amazing. They have such nice colors, and I think they're a really good option for beginners as it does not bend as much, but it's not as hard either. So it's a great option. Then I also have a Daiso pen, which is just an affordable option, and there are heaps and heaps of brush pens actually in Daiso, but they don't have a big color range. Then I also have a brush pen that I got from Amazon, and it's called Ohuhu. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but there are heaps of brush pens again on Amazon, and this packet has I think 36 colors, so there is a huge range of colors. But the quality, I will say, is not great, but I think it's a great option if you're just starting out in calligraphy and you want a couple colors, maybe for bullet journaling. Then I have the Pentel Fruity Touch brush pen. This is one of my all-time favorites, as it is one of those, it's a really great pen, honestly. It is such a high quality pen, and I think it's great for beginners as well. And if you want to do small lettering, for example in bullet journaling, which I like to do, this is a great pen as well. And then I've also found this zebra sign pen, which is similar to the Pentel Fruity Touch brush pen, but the Fruity Touch brush pen is I think better. Then you can also use a highlighter. I will show you later on in the video how to use a highlighter to do calligraphy, but it's very simple, and I think you have lots of highlighters lying around, so that would be an easy option. The highlighter that I like to use for calligraphy is the Uni Window highlighter, as I can see through the window, which makes it a lot easier to do calligraphy. Then you can also do calligraphy using a pen, so this is basically fake calligraphy, but I will show you again later on in the video. The next step is to do some warm-ups. So these warm-ups are intended for you to better understand what calligraphy feels like and get used to what it feels like to do calligraphy. So basically you want to make these shapes that I am showing you right now. You make the upstrokes thin and the downstrokes thick by pushing down on the pen. This will help you get the nice cursive calligraphy shape, which you will definitely need to be able to do in order to do calligraphy. The fourth step is to write out the alphabet. Using the techniques from the warm-ups, you want to do the alphabet. Basically, you just write the alphabet in cursive, but you make all the downstrokes thick and the upstrokes thin. At the start, you will find it's very difficult, and please don't get discouraged by this. I personally was very discouraged by this. This is why I did not do calligraphy for the longest time. Then I just started to do it, and it got a lot easier as you practice. And I know you've heard practice, practice, practice so many times, but this is very, very important, and I will promise you, you will thank yourself when you get to do perfect calligraphy. So I'm just writing out the alphabet in my Mildliner brush pen. The next step is to experiment with different types of letters. You've probably seen on YouTube, Instagram, Google Images, or Pinterest that there are many different styles when it comes to calligraphy, and sometimes you prefer ones over another, so I want you to experiment with the different types. As you can see here, I am experimenting with these letters, and I'm showing you some different ways to write them. So for example, with the D, you can do it without a loop or with a loop, and that goes with most of the other letters. You can do it with a loop or without a loop, and this will completely change the way it looks. Maybe you want it to look clean and minimalist, maybe you should not do the loops, but if you want it to look really fancy and bubbly, adding a loop will make it look more that way. The sixth step is to connect the letters. Once you have mastered doing the above steps, you should connect the letters now. Now this can get difficult at times because you don't know where to connect them, but once you start doing it, again, you'll get the hang of things. I think calligraphy is just something that you need to practice over and over again just to get it perfect, and you will never get it perfect. I guess you can always improve on your calligraphy. I definitely need to improve some letters such as my A's, and I think it's just a practice game. But you want to connect the letters once you have mastered the above steps. The next step is to try the aforementioned steps using different stationery. So for these steps, I've been using a Mildliner brush pen, but as you can see here right now, I'm using the Pentel Fude Touch brush pen. So experimenting with all these stationery will again help you find the stationery you'd like. And I know that a lot of you won't have access to brush pens, so I would recommend getting the Mildliner brush pens if you just want to start out. Here I am showing you guys how to use a highlighter for calligraphy. So you want to use the inner side of the highlighter, so the shorter tip of the highlighter, and you want to place that down on the page and use that as the basic guideline. So that is going to be your upstrokes. So every time you do the upstrokes, you want to only use that shorter side. Then when you get to the downstrokes, you want to place it both of the sides of the highlighter down so it will be thick, and do the downstroke. And you want to keep doing this over and over again, doing the shorter side for the thin strokes and both sides for the downstrokes. Another way to do this is just by outlining it in using a thin font, then going through and every time there's a downstroke, just highlighting it so it looks thicker. This method is not as clean as the aforementioned method, and it can look a little bit messy, but it is definitely easier. It's kind of hard to explain how to do this, but once you start to get the hang of it, it gets a lot easier. Here I'm showing you guys how to use a pen for calligraphy. So you just want to write what you would write in calligraphy just using a normal pen. And then every time there's a downstroke, you want to double it up. And you can choose to leave it unfilled, but it gives off another vibe. It's pretty cool. I personally like it unfilled as well. But if you want that traditional calligraphy look, you want to go through and color in all the gaps that you've made. Onto the next page, I have some additional tips for you guys so this calligraphy experience can be a lot easier for you. So the first tip is to take it slow. I know that when it comes to calligraphy, you have to take it slow, or else it's just going to look messy and it's going to be really hard on you, and you're going to feel really restricted and restrained if you're just going as fast as you can. So just take it slow and don't be discouraged by how slow you're going. I am showing you guys a clip of me doing it in real time so you can see how slow I am. A great tip for beginners is to use lined paper. You may remember back in primary school when you had to write using the 3 lines, and this is quite similar to that. You just write all the letters but using the lines as a guideline, and this will help you get the hang of calligraphy and get the balance that you need for calligraphy. Some stationery suggestions for you guys. I have the Mildliner brush pen. It's a great pen. I've already mentioned how great it is, but it honestly is really nice to do calligraphy with, and the colors are so beautiful, and it's great if you're into bullet journaling or if you want to get into bullet journaling. I have a whole Plan With Me series if you want to get started. Anyways, and the next stationery suggestion is the Pentel Fruity Touch brush pen. This is a great brush pen if you want to do those small lettering, and the nib is not too hard but not too soft, so it is great for beginners. And if you are into the highlighting calligraphy, I would recommend getting a window highlighter. So you can get the uni window highlighters, but Muji also has some window highlighters. But I would recommend the uni ones over the Muji ones as they are more smooth and they just have better colors as well. Of course, I can't end the video without saying practice. Practicing will make calligraphy so much easier and so much better. I will not say it's going to make it perfect. I don't think my calligraphy is perfect, even though I've practiced. I don't think anyone's calligraphy is perfect as such, but practice and I will guarantee your calligraphy will look amazing and it will be a lot easier to do. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful. Thank you for sticking to the very end of the video. I know it was quite a long video and I guess it was pretty repetitive. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And also comment down below what video you would like to see next on my channel. Bye guys, see you next time!